Hello, everybody. I'm Betsy. Today I'm going to be leading you through some exercises and stretches that most of us should be doing every day, working through all of our different joints, working on some strengthening, some flexibility, a little bit of breath. So, all you need is a mat and just a little bit of room. Be sure to check with your doctor if you have any concerns about movement. And please listen to yourself, move in a way that feels good. None of these postures should cause any stress to you, just, just some nice, comfortable movement. So we're going to start on our backs. So coming down with bent knees, and taking a few breaths here. Letting your back settle down into the mat. We're going to straighten your left leg and bring your right knee up towards your chest. So interlacing your fingers, you could move that side to side. Take a little time to check in with your range of motion, to decide where it would feel best to pause, and then settling in somewhere. And once you get there, take a few rolls of your right ankle. Going one way and then the other. And then pause, maybe bringing that a little closer, maybe activating your arms a bit more. Knowing you could move that anytime. Trying to avoid pinching. And then bending your left leg, drop your left foot, cross your right leg over. You could first take your right hand and kind of push that knee away. And then maybe lifting your left foot, interlacing your fingers behind, and finding a little bit more sensation in your right glute, your right hip. And then lowering that foot. Let's uncross your legs. Moving to the other side. So straightening your right leg, bending your left knee, interlacing your fingers, and then again, moving side to side. Good. And then pausing and rolling your ankle. A few times one direction and then the other. And then pausing, again, activating your arms a bit, maybe noticing your belly button and pulling that in a little bit. Good. Releasing that, bend your right knee, cross your right or your left leg over. You can first push that left knee away a little bit, lengthening the front side of that hip. And then if you need it for the sensation of stretching, bringing up that right foot. Couple more breaths here. And releasing that, uncross your leg. Maybe bring both knees to your chest now. You could rock a little side to side.
Put your hands at the tops of your knees, bringing your knees closer together and making a circle on the ceiling, one way and then the other. Good. Now we're going to come to seated. You could just roll to a hip or a little momentum, rocking up and down. One more time.
And coming to seated, crossing your legs any way that's comfortable, sitting up tall. Let's outstretch your arms, open your chest, hollow your belly, bringing your arms forward. And then open up your arms, reaching around behind, interlace your fingers, drop those away, open your chest. So big shoulder opening here. Good, releasing that. And then reaching your fingers, interlace your fingers, turning your palms, and then bringing them up just as high as feels comfortable for your shoulders and arms. If they come up by your ears, try to bring your shoulders down a bit while you keep pushing those knuckles away. Good. Release that. Shake them out if you'd like. Moving into a little neck stretch. So I'm going to walk my fingers out a little bit and then dropping that ear. If you feel a little discomfort, use your hand to support your head. If you need a little more stretch, you could use your hand to very gently lengthen through that side of your neck. And if it feels okay, you could walk your fingers out. So this is a very subtle movement, but you should very much feel a stretch and no discomfort. All right, walk your hand back in, gently bring your head back to center. Other side. So tucking an ear, feeling comfortable either to support your head or lengthen a bit. Always being mindful that one side could feel very different than the other. Good. All right. Gently returning that. Lift your shoulders up, slide them down. One more nice circle. And from here, we're going to come to our hands and knees. So moving into some spine flexibility and some core work. First, coming into a cat and cow. You could be on the tops of your feet or your toes. Your wrists are right under your shoulders. First, just engage a little bit through your arms and feel your shoulders widen. Feel your upper back lift a little bit. Good. And then taking an inhale, lifting your gaze and your tail. And hollowing your belly, rounding your back, tucking your chin. And a couple more breaths. So inhaling, tail lifts. Pull in your belly button and let that action make your spine round. And one more time. Any of these positions that feel especially good or useful are the ones you definitely should be doing every day. Let's come to a flat back for a little bit more strengthening. Extend your arm, and then you could touch the opposite leg, just toes down, or lift it up. We're going to move this a bit. So rounding your back,
Bring your elbow to your knee and extending your arm, finding your balance each time, 2 more times, making that ball. Extending, 1 more crunch. Bringing it out and lowering it down. Sort of noticing your belly, keeping that solid, strong back. Other side, arm out, leg either toes down or up. Finding your place here. And then moving. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Finding that ball. Reaching out. And 1 more time. Extending. Pause if you can. And dropping that down. Let's come to a child's pose. So reaching your hips back, extending your arms, or bringing your forehead to a fist. So this posture we always think of as restful, but it's very much lengthening your spine and working those hip flexors. If that doesn't feel good, you can always be up a little higher. All right, couple more breaths. And bringing yourself up, turning your toes, coming to a downward facing dog. You might walk your feet a little closer to your hands. Your feet are hips width, your hands are shoulder width. You could bend one knee and then the other. Walking those heels down, working on a hamstring stretch. Also working on a long, strong back. From here, we're going to walk towards standing. So bringing your feet forward. Soften into those knees. Let your head relax down. You could have your hands on the mat or reach for your elbows. You could sway a little bit. And letting your fingers drop. Straightening up a little more through your legs. We're going to roll up to standing. And I'm going to move my camera. All right, we're going to do a few things standing up. The first one is going to be a balance, a tree pose. Balance is another thing we should be doing every day. And it can be challenging. Know that if you lose your balance, you can touch something or put your foot down and pick it up again. So we're going to open up that hip. Now you could just keep your foot right at your ankle. You could bring it a little higher, either right below your knee or bringing it up above your knee. There's all sorts of research around balance and longevity and health. So finding a way to balance every day. And then bringing that foot down. Drop your arms. Shake it out a little bit. And other side. Opening your hip. Being nice and tall. Stopping anywhere along that line. Yeah. I'm going to stay right there, below my knee. Hands could reach out to the side. That can make balancing a little more accessible. You could reach up for a longer lever. And then working your foot back down. Come into standing. So we're going to move a little bit standing here. So I want you to bring your arms up and then drop an arm and lengthen through that side body.
And bringing the other one up. And other side. And bringing both arms up. Let's fold forward. Soften your knees. Slide your hands up your legs, look forward. And then we're going to step your foot back. Anchor that back heel and bend into your front knee. Coming up into a warrior one. So my arms are reaching. They could be shoulder width apart. We're right here. Good. We're going to open that up into a warrior two. So your feet might come farther apart. Hips might drop a little bit more. And I'm looking out beyond my fingertips toward the front of my mat. Again, these standing postures are all about strength in your legs. We're going to straighten that front leg. Maybe bring them a little closer together. Reach your hand forward, coming into a triangle. Drop your hand. You could look forward or up. So lengthening, strengthening. That's what we're working with here. Good. Soften your knees a little bit so you can come back up. Look toward the front of your mat. And let's just step that foot forward, drop your arms. We're going to do all that on the other side. So stepping your other foot back, anchoring your heel, bending into that front knee, and warrior one. Open up into two. I'm going to turn around. Good, long, strong arms. Straighten that knee. Maybe bring your feet closer together if it helps you feel balanced. Reaching forward, dropping your hand and triangle. Soften your knees a little bit, come up. Step back to the front of your mat. Let your arms drop. Just take a breath. Big strengthener here, we're moving into a chair pose. So your feet could be together and then your knees together, or a couple inches apart feet, couple inches apart knees. Bend into your knees. All your joints are active here, ankles, knees, hips. You could reach forward, you could reach up, sitting down into those legs. Good, reaching up. Drop your arms. Roll your shoulders, maybe shake that out. We're going to do one more round of those warriors. So back at the front of your mat, stepping your foot back, anchoring your heel, bending your knee, moving a little more quickly. So also moving on, working on some cardio strength. Open up your arms. Straighten that knee, reach, and a triangle. Looking up if it feels okay. Soften your knees a bit. Come back to standing. Step to the front of your mat. Other side. Stepping back. Warrior one. Open up into two. Straighten your leg, reach, triangle.
Soften your knees, come back up, step back, and there we are. We're going to move down to the ground, working on some back strengthener for the end of our practice. So let's bring your arms up, fold forward. Bring your hands to your legs, look forward. We're going to step back to a plank. I'm going to move my camera. All right, dropping down. Drop to your knees and drop to your belly. Good. All right. One more little move. There we go. I would like you to come to your forearms. We're coming into a Sphinx pose. So your toes are reaching away. You're getting a stretch for the tops of your feet. And your shoulders are sliding away. And you're only up as high as feels comfortable. You could reach your hands a little farther forward. That feels better. So all these, we call them back bends. They're back strengtheners. Maybe think about pulling in your belly button a little bit while you're here to engage the front of your body as well. All right, release that. Bring your hands to beside your chest. We're coming into a cobra. So not much weight on your hands, shoulders away, very little lift. This is not a big oof. It's just some traction. If you feel like it would be reasonable, you could lift up your feet. Lower your feet. You could drop an ear, let your arms relax back. Coming back to center, hands back to beside you. Active legs, rolling up. Hands not doing the work. You could lift your feet if you like. And then lowering that down, you could rest on an ear again. And coming to center with your head, we're just going to push up and into child's pose, stretching back. Coming back to your tabletop, rolling to a hip. Taking a few breaths here. So just a short practice that brought in strengthening of your back, your abdominals, your upper body, your legs, that we moved through all the different joints. So taking just this short practice could be a great way to add some fitness to your day. Thank you so much.